Is going on, my guys? What is going on this evening? Hope all is well wherever you're at in the world. I hope everything is going well. I wanted to pop on here tonight and do a quick live and just talk to you guys about something that I think is very beneficial to you, regardless of your situation, regardless if you're dating, you're in a relationship, you're married. I wanted to talk to you about respect and setting boundaries and what that exactly looks like, because a lot of men, they don't really understand what it means to set boundaries. They don't understand what it means to really stand on what they say they're going to do. And when you don't do that, your woman can't respect you. No woman can respect you if you don't have any boundaries and you don't stand on them. There's a video I watched, I think it was about a year or two ago, and this guy was talking about when you're dating a woman, there's no reason to set boundaries with a woman. There's no reason to have boundaries because a woman is not going to listen to it and she's not going to respect you. She's going to overstep the boundaries anyway. And my thought about that was that's the whole point of a boundary. The whole point of you having a boundary as a man and setting a boundary is because that right there is it's pretty much like you having a what do you call it? Like you're weeding out the woman who isn't for you, basically. So if you have a boundary and you have standards already established, when you are dating and a woman doesn't like that boundary, she doesn't agree with it, or she wants to overstep that boundary, then that tells you right then and there that that's not the woman for you. And when it's not the woman for you, then that's good. That's good that that's not the woman for you, because that is letting you know that you can move on to the next. Because see, the funny thing is, a lot of guys, they are afraid to set boundaries because these guys feel that if they set a boundary, the woman is not going to abide by that boundary, or she's going to overstep that boundary. And the thing is, that's what the boundary's for. The boundary, the boundary is for you to put in place so no woman will overstep that boundary. But if you put that boundary in place, but you don't stand on it and you don't enforce it, and the woman doesn't like it and she oversteps that boundary, then that's the whole point. So when guys say, there's no reason of having a boundary when you're dating, bullshit, because the boundary is the first establishment that you need when you're dating and when you get into a relationship. That's why a lot of guys mess up, because they set the boundaries later on, after you've been dating for a while, after you've been in a relationship, and then you say, "Hey, I want to start setting some boundaries. I want to start having some standards." And the woman's looking at you like you're crazy. It's like, well, why didn't you have these standards and boundaries in place when we first started talking? And then you feel some type of way because she's upset with you, or she is disrespecting you, but it's like it's your fault because you didn't start anything from the beginning. You didn't have anything established from the beginning. So that's the thing that I want you guys to understand, is that you have to have boundaries in place regardless of if you think you should or shouldn't, or you listen to guys that tell you, hey, you don't need to have any boundaries in place because a woman's not going to listen to it in the first place. So that's the fucking point. If she's not going to listen to it, then that's not the woman for you. That's not the chick or the woman that you want to continue a relationship with. It's that simple. But for my guys that don't understand, your boundaries, you have to really, understand this, and that is, you have to create boundaries for yourself first. Create boundaries for yourself first and follow those boundaries that you set and put in place for yourself, because when you create boundaries for yourself and you put those in place and you never overstep those boundaries, and the woman sees that, okay, his own boundary is, say for instance, let's just call it a standard. Your own standard is every Tuesday at 9 p.m. you, whatever it is, maybe you go to the gym, maybe you do something for yourself. Whatever it is it has to be important for you and important to you. And you must always do that regardless of what is going on. Now, obviously, if it's an emergency, that's understandable. But if it's not an emergency, guess what? It needs to get done, or you need to do it. Because when a woman sees that you have a standard for yourself and your boundary is you not you actually doing it and not doing it and neglecting it, when she sees that, she will take you more serious because when you have a boundary in place for her, she knows, okay, this is his standard, this is his boundary. He doesn't let himself off the hook when it comes to this or when it comes to that. He has self-respect. So I might as well follow suit because he's proven it with himself. And if he's proven it with himself and he's with me, then hey, he expects me to also fall in line and respect his standards and not cross his boundaries. But when you do cross your own boundaries and you don't have any standards at all, and this is the biggest problem a lot of guys have, man. A lot of you guys do not have any standards. You don't have any principles. You don't have any boundaries. And to understand what I mean by that is your standards are basically the things that protect your principles. Or excuse me, sorry. Your standards are the things that, yeah, they protect, sorry. Your standards are the things that protect your principles, right? So your principle could be, hey, this is what I expect in a relationship. And your standard is the thing that says, well, your principle says that you don't want any type of drama, right? You don't want any type of drama in your relationship. So, what do you put in place to where you don't have any type of drama? Is it that you avoid being with women that you notice that have drama in their life? Is it that when a woman tries to test you, you tell her not to do that? You have to really understand how that works. And then the boundary is pretty much like, hey, this is saying, like, hey, this is my standard. These are my principles. If you go against what my standards and my principles are, which is my boundaries that you overcross, then this is the repercussions. I'm not going to be with you anymore. We're not going to go any further in a relationship. That is what it's all about. You have to really understand that. And hope I didn't confuse anybody, but it all connects. It all connects, and it's pretty much saying, and here's the best way I can say it so it makes more sense. So think of your house like a standard, right? Your house is built the way you like it. It's in a location that you like, but the things that keeps the house in check and in order is you have an alarm system, so somebody just can't come in there and break in there and fuck it up, right? You have HOA, depending on where you live. You have HOA, and HOA is pretty much saying that, hey, the outside has to look a certain way because we don't want it looking raggedy. We don't want it looking torn up, right? So that is what is making sure that the standard, which is your house, is good to go. Now, when it comes to your boundary is pretty much the fence that is saying, like, hey, this is your property, this is my property. You're a neighbor, that's great and everything, but I don't need you to go into my yard. I don't need you to walk over here and everything else that comes with a gate. That's the whole purpose and the whole point of having a gate, to keep your house on its own property, basically, right? Hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to park. But that's the whole thing. So you have your boundaries, which is the gates that you have. This is an actual outline of, hey, this is my property, that's your property. Don't overstep this, because once you overstep this, then that is my property, and I have a right to say, get the fuck off my property, right? HOA, keeping the house in order. You can't put up crazy decorations. You can't adjust certain things. You can't have things outside of your house. You can't let the line get too long. all this other stuff that comes with HOA. That's your principles, right? And your standards is, like I said, that's protecting everything inside. So when it comes to a woman, it's like the first thing is you should already let her know what your boundaries are. You should already let her know what your boundaries are so she knows, because she doesn't know your boundaries and she does something you don't like. You get upset and you blame her, but it's like you never even told her what your boundaries are. You never said, hey, this is what I don't like, this is what I do like, don't overstep this, don't overstep that. If you never tell her, then you can't get mad if she oversteps it, right? Now, the other thing is when it comes to um, your standards and your principles, that is when it's more of when she gets to know you more. She gets to know you more. She doesn't overstep your boundaries. Now it's like, okay, you don't overstep my boundaries. I let you in a little bit more. Now it's like, hey, this is what I expect from a woman. This is what I don't expect as far as you being with me. Because there's one thing to have a boundary saying, like, hey, don't disrespect me, don't bring drama. That's basically those things that protect you, keep you at peace of mind. Now, when she gets into your life and she's your woman, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, that is when you have to establish things even more. Where it's like, okay, now that we're together, these are the things that I want in relationship. These are the things I want from a woman. These are the things that I expect you to do. And if you want to do those things, that's great. If you don't want to do those things, then we don't need to be together. And this is the thing that I want you to understand is you have a right to want what you want with and from a woman, and she also has a right to do or not do what you want her to do, if that makes sense. So you're not holding a woman hostage. You're not, you know, she's not your slave, anything like that. But the thing I wanted to say, and the reason why I bring all this up is because it all ties back to you actually having those boundaries, having those standards, and the principles, and everything that makes you you. You have to establish that for yourself first, because once you establish it for yourself and you follow what you establish, and it becomes something that is part of you. And when it becomes part of you, when you go meet a woman or you have a woman in your life, she'll follow suit. And she'll follow suit because she sees that that is who you are. It's kind of like best example. That's kind of like you getting into a relationship and a woman wants to marry you, and you say, "Hey, that's great. This is my last name. You take my last name." And if she says, "No, I'm not taking your last name," then she doesn't want anything to do with you. She doesn't want anything to do with you, to be with you, because she's not taking your last name. And what I'm trying to explain, and what I'm trying to say is, if a woman doesn't want to be part of who you are, which is your last name, like, hey, this has been my name since I was born. This is my last name. When we get married, take my last name. But if she's not taking your last name, that means she doesn't want to be a part of you, if that makes sense. Give me a thumbs up if you get what I'm trying to say. And it ties into your boundaries, your standards, your principles, all those things of who you are. When that becomes who you are and you establish that and you really live that, and you're not just saying, like, yeah, these are my boundaries, but you just let people walk all over them, she's not going to respect you. She's not going to follow suit. But if your boundary is, hey, my boundary and my standard, it's like, hey, if you're a woman and you bring drama into my life, then that's it. I don't want that in my life. I want a woman that actually respects me. I want a woman that treats me like I treat myself. I love myself. I take care of myself. If you're going to be with me, that is what I expect from a woman. If you can't do that, then we don't belong together. But if you can do that, hey, we can keep rolling forward. So that's the biggest thing that a lot of guys miss out on is they don't take the time to get to know themselves, and they don't get to take the time to establish those standards, those boundaries, those principles. They don't take the time to do that. And when you don't take the time to do that, and I said this a long time, this is years ago. When you don't take the time to establish your boundaries, you don't take the time to establish your standards, your principles, your laws, your rules, your codes, when you don't take the time to establish any of that, guess what? The woman is probably coming along with her own sets of boundaries, standards, principles, laws, rules, and codes. And if you don't have any, she has no choice but to enforce those onto you. I want you to really pay attention and understand what I just said. If you don't have your own standards, your principles, your boundaries, your laws, your rules, your codes, a woman will come along with her own set of those things and she will enforce those onto you. Now, when you have your own established, like I said, and you actually live by what you say and you live by what you do and everything's coherent, the woman sees that and she's not going to necessarily neglect, her own standards and principles and boundaries or anything like that. She's going to be more adaptable to who you are and how you are. She's going to be there to support you. But it always starts with you, and it always starts with you actually standing on what you say those things are. That's very important because when you don't have those established, I'm gonna always say this, when you don't have those things established, it doesn't really matter. That's what makes you a man. That's what makes you a man is having those things established and actually living by those things, showing the example of them. Because a great leader will always lead by example. They will show you exactly what to do, they do it, and then you follow their lead. A woman is the same way. If you're a man and you say, hey, I, what's a good example? I value my time and I don't waste my time for anybody. And you have a set schedule, you follow that schedule, you don't oversleep, you always have everything planned and you stick to a T. And she sees that, okay, I could take his lead because he actually is leading himself. But if you tell her, like, hey, you should have this plan, you should do that, you should have this scheduled, but you don't do it yourself, you're just a hypocrite. And if you're a hypocrite, a woman isn't going to listen to you. She's not going to value you, she's not going to value your time. And the other thing is she's not going to respect you. So it's more than just the attraction. It's more than just if she likes you. I mean, that's great and all. It's great that she may desire you, she likes you, she's attracted to you, all that stuff. But it's deeper than that because when problems come up, the attraction doesn't really matter. The desire doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, the desire goes out the window when conflicts, when problems come up, when challenges come up in your relationship, or even when you're dating. And that's the thing too. When you're dating, when problems come up, that's already a red flag for you and her. But a lot of people get into a relationship even though those red flags come up in the beginning, and that's detriment to the future of the relationship because it's really not going to be a relationship because nothing was really solid and established to begin with. Because it's not about the looks, it's not about the desire, the sex, all that other stuff. It's more than that. And this is the thing that I want you guys to really understand. I really want you to understand and just really think about this one thing. This one thing is that when it comes to a woman and it comes to a relationship, I want you to understand that the priority for sex shouldn't be the highest thing on your list. It shouldn't. It shouldn't be the highest thing on your list at all. The highest priority on your list when you meet a woman and you get into a relationship should be where is her mindset at and how she treats you. Where her mindset is and how she treats you. Because even if the sex is great and she's attractive, it doesn't fucking matter. Because as time goes on, women don't look the same when they're younger as they get older. When they age, things change. The sex, sometimes women have problems when it comes to sex. I mean, that's just what it is. Sometimes they get older, they dry up. And guys, the same thing, uh, erectile dysfunction. Sometimes you can't perform like you did when you're younger. All those things change as you get older. So it's not about putting that as a top priority on your what you value most. It's about valuing her mindset and how she treats you. How she treats you and her mindset are the things that you must value over anything else when it comes to a woman in a relationship. Because when you see that she has a good head on her shoulders, she is respectful, she treats you right, she has good character. When a woman has those things, then all the other stuff comes with it. So a lot of guys do the opposite. A lot of guys, they look for the sex, the looks, or sometimes it's just a look. Sometimes guys just want the woman that has the good looks, but they don't get any sex and they get disrespected. And some guys, they don't care about the woman's looks, but they just want the sex and they still get disrespected and the woman doesn't even look attractive. And then you got guys that look at women that are attractive, they got the looks, and they also get the sex, but they don't get any respect and they don't care about the respect. They don't care about where the woman's mind is at. They don't care about how her character is. And that's ass backwards. It's always about her mindset, how she treats you, her character, all those things that are important. Those are the things you got to focus on is how she treats you, her mindset, your communication with her. All those things are important. And it may sound crazy, especially if my guys are younger, but hear me out. Those things are important because if you have a woman's mind and you understand her, she understands you, and it's more about the intellect, everything else comes with it. The sex comes with it, the looks comes with it. That's great. And when you first meet a woman, I get it. You want to make sure that you get a woman that is attractive. And if she's attractive, that's great. Let's move past that. Okay, she's attractive. I got it. Cool. But where's the mindset at? How's she treating me? What is she, what's her character? How does she act inside the bedroom, outside the bedroom? Who is she? How is she? Those are the most important things. And then once that is established, okay, cool. Now we can have sex. Now we can do this and that. You have to have your own standards because women will have standards. They say, okay, I won't sleep with a man because he doesn't make this amount of money. He's not attractive. He's this, he's that, all these other things. But as a man, your standard should be okay, she's attractive. I'll talk to her. Let me see where her mind is at. Because if her mind is not where I want it to be and I can't connect with her intellectually, I don't really give a fuck about the pussy. I don't give a fuck about the sex. Because you can get sex from any woman. It like it's not that big of a deal. And when you do have a woman's mind and you connect on a level where you understand her intellectually, her character is good. Like I said, she has a good head on her shoulders. When all that connects and then you get the sex, it's even greater because it's not just you have her mind. Now you have her mind and you have her heart and you have her body. And when you have those three things, and I said this before, you will set yourself apart from every other guy because other guys can come in and have sex with. Okay, cool, that's her body. You don't have her mind, you don't have her heart. Other guys may come through and may have money, maybe more money than you, less money than you. It doesn't matter. Those guys can spend money, but guess what? That doesn't mean that you have her mind. It doesn't mean that you have her heart. You may have her body because, oh, he's spending money on me. I guess I'll give him some sex. But if you're the guy that doesn't give a fuck about any of that, I want to know where your mind is at. I want to know how you think. I want to know how your character is. I want to know how you treat people. I want to know how you treat me. I want to know how you treat yourself. Do you even love yourself? Because once you see that in a woman and you value that outside of the sex and the looks and everything else, that is where you will start to get that respect because now she sees that you don't care about the little things, the sex, all this other stuff. Because a woman, if you're with a woman and she knows that you don't value sex or looks, but you value how a woman treats you, she knows in her mind if I treat him like shit and he values how a woman treats him and these other women treat him good and he doesn't give a fuck about the looks, he doesn't give a fuck about the sex. Okay, now I'm in trouble because he may be talking to a woman that is treating him right, or talking to him in a way that shows that she has good character, or talking to him in a way that shows that she respects him. Because if your woman knows that That is what you want most from a woman, is for her to respect you, for her to treat you right, for her to be a peace of mind, a breath of fresh air. Then she'll see that, damn, okay, I better get my shit together, because it's not about the looks, it's about how I treat him. But see, what happens with a lot of you guys is that you focus so much on the sex and the looks that a woman will look all pretty. She will get all dressed up, looking really good, give you the best sex, give you head, fuck you this way, that way, all this other stuff. And now the thing is, she knows that, okay, if if I see him talking to another woman, all I have to do is make sure that I fuck him really good and I look really good when I do it, because he'll stay with me. And she knows that. A woman knows that. But if you don't give a fuck about the sex and you don't give a fuck about the looks, and you care about how she treats you and her mindset and her character, the crazy thing is she can't compete with other women when it comes to that. If another woman is treating you right and she's respecting you and she gives you a breath of fresh air, and on one end you're like, okay, the woman that's disrespecting me, yeah, she may be giving me this sex every now and then, or she may look good, whatever, but she's disrespecting me. But this woman over here, she's treating me with respect. She's talking to me with respect. She's calm. She's not bringing me any drama. She looks okay. She's not ugly. She looked good. And the sex, I mean, that comes along with it. So this woman over here, the mindset is great. The character is great. She's treating me right. She's a breath of fresh air. And she looks decent. And the sex is good. Why would I go back over here to this woman that is treating me like shit, gives me sex half the time, and it's okay? And yeah, she looks hot. She's bad, but that's not what I actually value. So if I value how a woman treats me and you treat me like shit, then you're not winning. That's what you have to understand. And it goes deeper than that. I mean, like I said, the end of this month, maybe next month, I will start my new YouTube channel. It'll be specifically for men that are dating, that want to get into a relationship. Like, you actually want to be in a relationship. However, you just don't want to be frustrated, like men that are married, men that are in long-term relationships. You hear about the struggles, you hear about the lack of desire that they get from the woman, the lack of sex. You hear about they're just frustrated. They don't get the respect and they just don't have the peace of mind. That's what my new channel for dating guys is going to help you with, is so you don't have to be that man that says, man, I wish I would have known this a long time ago. I wish I would have had my standards and my boundaries set in place. I wish I would have had this. I wish I would have this. I wish I would have that. That's what this new channel is going to be about, is to specifically talk to my guys that are dating, but they just want to do it right, because they're dating with intent. They're dating because they want to be in a relationship. Maybe you want to be married. However, you just want to do it the right way, because you don't want to fall in the trap that a lot of men fall into, that have no knowledge, they have no wisdom and understanding of what it means to be a man in a relationship and get that respect from a woman when you get into a relationship. That is what this new channel is going to be about. This channel right here, if you're watching this video, this is for my guys that are in relationships, but my new channel will be for my guys that are dating, but they want to be in a relationship. They want to be married and all this other good stuff. That's what this new channel is going to be about. So I've been on here for a little bit. I'm about to go in, get me some food, I was going to say take me a nap, but get some sleep. I've been working all day. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you save it, share it to a guy who may benefit from it. And other than that, man, I'm gonna read these comments and get up out of here. I hope you got something from this video. Hope you got some value. If you did, great. If you didn't, hey, eat the meat, leave the bone. But until next time, I will holler at you later. Let's see. Brittany Gilbert, hi. Hey, how you doing? What's going on, Mary B? Let's see. Brooklyn, who is so dark? It's nighttime over here. Let's see. Why is that so dark? Can I even say properly? Let's see. Alpha Meter. How the hell you got 50 subscribers? I don't know, man. I don't know if I should have more or less. I mean, you tell me. I mean, I don't know. But other than that, it's been great being on here. I will holler at you guys later. Have a good evening.